When you need to build hype around a music video drop, but the clock's ticking, what do? Maybe the final video has just landed in your inbox. It's 8 o'clock and it's releasing in a few hours, but you need to let your artist fans know that it's coming. Well, we're JPA Creative, and for almost 20 years, we've been making every kind of content for major label artists. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact formula our team uses to create cinematic trailers from full-length music videos and in record time. Now, we build these trailers to hook fans instantly and to create anticipation for the premiere. Whether you have an internal label team or a freelancer or a content partner like us, having them use this approach will save you time, stress, and elevate your output. And as a digital marketer or someone on an artist team, understanding this framework will allow you to move faster and communicate more effectively with the creator that's making it and the artist. Now, there are two main types of music video promos I like to distinguish here. First, there's teasers, which are quick snippets that have a call to action. You just sort of pull them out and add the CTA at the end. And then there's trailers, which are more crafted, more intentional. They feel like something you'd see in a theater. This video is all about those short, punchy trailers that are cinematic and memorable. Now, the real first decision that you or someone on management needs to make is how much of the song or video do you want to reveal? If the song is dropping at the same time as the video, consider leaning heavy into just teasing elements of the song. We'll kind of get into more of this later. But as far as the visuals, it depends. Sometimes if there's a lot of interesting or unique scenes, you may want to show them quickly to give fans a glimpse of what they're in for. But you can also consider saving those scenes for the first viewing as to not give too much away. Either way, this is a key part of the strategy you need to align with the artist and their team on. Do this first to avoid a lot of back and forth and revisions. Now, whether you're scrambling at the last minute or somehow you have a week to make this trailer, the same principles apply. But if you are in a fire drill scenario, just have your editor do this, but just do it quicker. Here's a basic framework you could pass along of how we break it down every time. You want to start by preparing your cinematic ingredients. Pull out all the B-roll, anything without the artist singing, story shots, performance visuals, cutaways. Grab the instrumental of the track, or if you can get stems from A&R, it's even better. You can also separate the music using AI. But then you bring in cinematic sound effects like risers and booms and impacts. A quick hack you can use is to tell your editor to have all these sort of stock sounds pre-saved in a trailer project file you could just open so it's ready to go at the click of a button. Now that you have all your elements, it's time to start putting it together. Think of it like building a house. The music and the sound is like your foundation. The visuals are like the walls and the structure. And then the sound design, the effects, the transitions and titles, that's all like the furniture and the decoration that goes in last. We always say build from the sound up. When building a sound bed, you could consider using instrumentals, vocals only, or isolating parts of the beats. And once you've got your sound, you could start laying in your structure. Use instrumental to maybe build some atmosphere. Tease a single phrase from the chorus or the hook with an a cappella part of the track. Start with an instrumental and then transition into the full chorus. The key thing is you want to make it feel like it starts in one place, ends up in another. You're giving just enough to intrigue, but ideally never the full drop or enough for the chorus to really get into it. You want to leave them wanting to see and hear more. Now that you have the main part of your sound bed built, you could start weaving in your visuals. Cut to the beat that you've laid out, and even better, cut to the emotion. At this stage, you could consider adding what I call sauce to your videos, which is like transitions or any other video effects. If there's transitions in the actual video, pull those out and blend those in. And if not, this is where having a trusted stock library really comes in handy. When we get to sound design, this is where trailers go from good to goosebumps. You can add ambient sound effects like wind and footsteps. If you see something, you should hear it. Is there a car? Add screeching tires or a revving engine. Ocean, add waves, fire, hear the crackle. You get the idea. But when talking about suspense, this is really where that's built. A great way to make that happen is to use a riser, which is a sound that builds tension, and then hit it with a strong sound like a boom or an impact. It's a trailer's best friend. This is how you make it feel dramatic and cinematic. Ideally, you want this to land right at your CTA, which brings us to the final step of adding text and titles. This is the final polish. Try to use the same font or graphics the full music video uses so it feels connected. Have the artist's name, of course, the featured artist, the song title or album title, then have it land on a strong CTA like coming soon, Friday, midnight, tonight. Make it unmissable, but make it memorable. Now let's break down some real world trailers that we've made using this exact system. Each of these trailers have some variations so you could see some differentiators in action. But if you're looking for any help with a trailer or any other content for your artist, click the link below to get in touch, and we'd love to chat about working together. First up, we have Lil Baby's Touchdown. Of course, this is a football-themed video. This is a scenario where the artist management didn't really want to reveal any of the song, so we ditched the song up front and let the visuals and sound effects drive the trailer. If you've got a strong narrative, you can really lean into it and just go with all story and sound effects like this.
50 Mike, 4. He's in it. It's going to be long.
Next up is The Weeknd's Sao Paulo. Watch how footsteps, vomiting, and other gritty sounds set the tone. Yeah, I said vomiting. Then a brief song tease and then a final impact. 1 exclamation point. That's all it needs. But what if there's not a strong story going throughout the video? Well, in the case of Benny's Off the Rails, there wasn't a narrative, but that wasn't a problem. We just did a supercut, kind of cutting all the best parts of the video into the chorus, adding some light sound design. We let the music do the talking, and it still works. Finally, there's Metro Boomin's Superhero. This video had everything. It was so much story. There's car crashes, there's fire. But the real hero here is dialogue. And not just any dialogue. Dialogue from Morgan Freeman. So we really tried to structure this in a way that built up to his voice, which is what ultimately revealed his involvement in the project. If you have powerful dialogue, make sure you lean into it and use it. You could use it as a VO, or in this case, we did something, where we build using the sound and all the elements we talked about earlier. And then we stop and inserted that key piece of dialogue to let it breathe and have its impact. This is a proven formula that works in trailers.
You're going down there, right?
Turn me to a superhero, yeah.
So another thing that all these trailers have in common that I've showed you today is that they were all done in 2 hours or less. And the key to making it not really feel that way or seem like they were just thrown together is being prepared with a process. I mentioned before the term fire drill. Well, we think of it like that. How a firehouse and fire station, they have a process for when it's time to go and there's a fire and they're called. They do this, this, and this to get out the door as quick as possible. That's the way we think of it here. So having this framework and the system in place and just the thought process will allow you and the person making your content move so much faster and to be able to create a piece that is unique, attention grabbing, and memorable for your artist fans.